Despite the bands of cloud all morning weighing down with threatening rain, there was only a dainty afternoon drizzle.
So we're here along the Palisades Strip. You may be wondering, why are motorists using the soft shoulder? That's because they have been directed to do so. Here's why. There's been an incident along the Palisades Strip. You know that this leads to the airport. It's a busy thoroughfare. The emergency response teams are here also.
Jamaica Fire Brigade received a call that there's an ice spill on the Palisades roadway, and they responded. One unit from the Wellington town and one from Port Royal responded. Reach arrival, then they would have got into action by seeing what is happening and have taken the necessary steps to absorb the oil, clean it up, and we're waiting now for NEPA and other agencies to come and assist with the removal of it.
CVM News understands what caused the slick road surface was actually traced to another oil spill in the Kingston Harbour the day before. With the National Oil Spill Plan already called into action, the unified team, which was still analysing that situation at the Incident Command Centre, was able to react promptly.
The vessel had some damage to it. The vessel was carrying some crude oil, and that is what spilled in the harbour. That truck was the truck that was carrying the waste that was cleaned up from the oil spill that happened earlier inside the harbour itself.
He says based on the feedback from the National Environment and Planning Agency NEPA, the comprehensive strategies executed to mitigate and restore adequately averted damage to marine life. All this at a time when the call to review, improve and maintain response efforts globally is paramount.
You're on the job doing your thing.
Yes, good afternoon. So of course there are 14 countries which are a part of Exercise Event Horizon 2025. Well, I'm a part of Exercise Control, so I'm just here to ensure that we manage the process as best as possible, ensure that things are running seamlessly and as effectively as possible.
Here in Jamaica, what we are doing, we're ensuring that we can work with our partners with something as significant as an oil spill. It's a plan that has been there in existence for some time now, and it's just that we have not had the opportunity to execute. But rather than wait for the event to occur, we decide that we're going to go ahead and train and ensure that we are prepared for such an event.
Superintendent, or on a day like today when it's actually drizzling right after the oil spill and the team would have responded, is this a good thing?
It is a good and a bad thing, and let's explain further. One is that we had already used the absorbent material to take up the oil spill. But as you can see, some of the absorbent material is still there. So what will happen is that the rain might wash it off, which is good for the roadway. But by washing it off, we might be going into somewhere for trenches or ditches that we don't want to go into. So our team will have to constantly watch this now to ensure that it's not running off into any area and causing any effect to the environment.
So with the environment secured in both scenarios, what about stakeholder engagement and responsibility?
Persons running away from the scene is not something that we want, but if it's a danger, if you see where it's going to be a danger to your life, then we ask that you move to a certain distance and then make the necessary contact. The Jamaica Constable Force is here to assist us in terms of port control, and they would have placed their barriers and cordon off certain areas that we would have necessarily be our what we call hot zone, where the activity is taking place.
Although notional today, the consequences of oil spills at sea or on land can be dire. Hence, these proactive steps are taken quite seriously. Curlin Brown, CVM News.